there, this is Ashley here with this week's episode of Stamp Create Repeat. Today I'm going to be making these really cute little cupcake toppers. These are so cute for the fall, so I'm going to show you each of them up close. So here is a cute little beaver one, and I had them on this cute little toothpick, and then this is the back. It has a little covering so that it doesn't look mismatched on the other side. So this one is a little fox, and I did 3 of each of them. They just have different pattern papers on and bows on the bottom of them, but I have 3 of the same image there. And here is the other little raccoon, and I just love this pattern paper. This is from the new Your Next Stamp release. It is so cute for the fall. And then this one is probably my favorite, that little beaver there. How cute would that be for Canada Day? I just am totally going to make those next year. So let's get started, and I'll share with you the products I used to make these, and then I'll get right into the process video. So I'm just going to move these off to the side, and I will start by showing you what I used to make them. So first up, I used the Your Next Stamp Black Olive ink to stamp out my images. I also used the Your Next Stamp wire snips to cut apart the coordinating dies. This paper for all of the cupcake toppers came from this fabulous fall set, and it is so cute. There's a ton of patterns with images of leaves, and then there's also some cute gingham and polka dots. I'll just flip through so you can see really quick. I love the Your Next Stamp paper, and they're single-sided, so you don't have to try to choose between the really pretty images. You just get 2 of each of them. This is the stamp set that I use for these cute little critters. It's called Autumn Animals, and this is my absolute favorite stamp from the new fall release that just came out for September. It is so precious, so I use the little squirrel, the beaver, and also the raccoon. And then there is also coordinating dies that you can purchase separate, which make it so easy to cut out all of the little critters, especially if you're going to make a whole bunch of these little treat toppers. I also used this die set. This is the open scallop circle die set. I used the smaller size scallop there, and then that little circle is that circle that comes with it. So you can use that as a layering piece, but I just used it on the back to cover up that toothpick. And then this set I also used for these cute little bows. It comes with 2 different sizes of bows. So this is the smaller of the 2 sizes, and there's 2 different designs for each of the sizes. So this was one of the designs for the smaller one. And this is actually called the Beautiful Little Bows die set, and I love this die set so much. It just adds a little pop of cuteness and dimension on the little cupcake toppers. So let's get into the process video, and I will share with you how I made these little treat toppers. So to begin with, we're going to stamp out our little critters from the Autumn Animals set, and I'm just using my black olive ink to ink them up. And I will make sure to have all the products individually linked below so you can find them over in the Your Next Stamp store, so it's nice and easy for you to know which products that I used. So I'm stamping out 2 of each of the little critters so that I can have more than one of the cute little treat toppers. And then I'm just coloring these with my Copic markers, and I'm using the Recollection 60-pound cardstock. And I will put all the caps there on screen for you, and you can see how I did them. So as I'm going through, it's just easier for me to color them up as I go. So I'm doing both of them at the same time and kind of using similar colors as I go to color them up. And I found that when I was making these, I didn't want to just have the same brown colors for the squirrel and the beaver. So I do a different color combo for the beaver and a different color combo of brown for the little squirrel, so that it kind of just makes them look different, and different colors and shades of brown for these little autumn treat toppers. So I'm just coloring up the little brown items that are in their hands as well in different colors than what their brown skin tone or like fur is out of. And they are just so adorable. That little beaver is so incredibly precious. I am so going to be using that for some tree toppers for Canada Day next year. And I think these would be super cute too. That little beaver you could totally use as a winter one. If you use some cute like snowflake paper as a little topper, that would totally work as well. And there was a little fox image on this set, but it was a different kind of shape, and it wasn't holding any like fall items. So I just stuck with these 3. I thought they cohesively went perfect together for the treat toppers. The fox was a little bit too big for the little scallop circle that I used, but if you really wanted, you could totally use the little fox as well for some more variation to your cupcake toppers. So I'm doing this one in C8 and C4. I found that whenever I'm coloring a raccoon, I don't like to use my black Copic. I just find it really intimidating, and I have a hard time kind of like blending it out. So when I do raccoons, I always like to start with my C8, which is a very dark gray color, and then I kind of blend out from that gray, and it just gives a nice like shadowed raccoon. I really like how that turns out. And then if you've ever seen a raccoon, they're kind of like this browny, dirty color as well. So I used the warm grays, which is kind of like a brown gray for the eyes and also the tail and his little belly there. And you'll see as I'm doing the Copic markers that I go back in once I've colored with the darkest color, and it just really makes it pop if you do that. It will just really bring out the darkest portion that you have. So now I'm on to the little squirrel, and I wanted to do this squirrel kind of like a gray and a reddy brown color mixed together. They are coming out so cute. And I think too, if you wanted, you could just take these little toppers, and once you cut them out with your die cuts, you don't even have to put a background if you don't want. You could really, in a cute way, make these into tree toppers just like this with the coordinating dies and with the toothpick still, or you can do it the way that I'm showing today where I have like a little scallop behind it, and that just allows you to use some cute pattern papers and really make them pop. So that is the finishing little bit for my squirrel there. And now I'm just taking R20 to add a little bit of pink on the cheeks of all the little critters. And then I'll go in with my black jelly pen to color in the nose, the eyes, and I'm also doing the eyes on the little items that they're holding in their hands. And then I take my white jelly pen and I'm just adding a little dot on all of the cheeks of the animals there. And then I also go with the white jelly pen on the little beaver's nose, and I add a little accent, and I do accent a little bit, as you'll see, on all the little critters as well. So there is the cute little images. I'm so excited how they turned out. So I'm taking the coordinating dies, I'm trimming them apart with my wire snips, and these make cutting these out so incredibly fast and easy. So especially if you're making projects like this where you're going to make a whole bunch of them, the coordinating dies will be perfect because it's such an easy way to trim them all out nice and fast. So I'm just running them through my Sizzix die cutting machine. So there's the squirrel and the raccoon, and here is the beaver, my favorite. And now I'm just going to take those dies and cut out the other one as well. And I'm just using that pink tape that I had there is just some Scotch brand paper tape that I use to hold down the dies, but you could use masking tape or anything like that. So I'm taking this paper and I'm using 3 different patterned papers, and I'm going to use that smaller size scallop and the circle. And I'm just showing how nice it cuts out, and then you have the little backing. So that one had little acorns and oak leaves on it. This one has the little fall leaves on it. And these are all from the Fabulous Fall paper collection from Your Next Stamp. And then this one has this really cute little pop of orange on it. I love this little pattern on this one. I think that was my favorite. And then I took 3 different polka dot pattern papers and cut out these same dies. And these were really cute. There's an orange, there's a dark brown, and a light brown polka dot. And they just look so perfect for fall. So I'm just trimming all of those out, and here is the last one, and then I'm going to do the bows. So for the bows, I'm taking my wire snips and I'm going to trim apart the bows. There is 2 different ways to make your bows. You can have the tag of the bow coming like across or hanging to the bottom, and I wanted it to be hanging to the bottom. And after I cut these out, I realized that I cut out 2 bottoms by accident. So I have 1 bottom piece already cut and the middle piece, but I'm actually going to redo it so you can see. So I'm doing the little piece, that middle piece, and that longer piece, and that will give you all the 3 pieces you need for the small bow. So I'm going to cut out 3 orange ones in the cute gingham, and then I'm going to cut out 3 of the bows in the brown gingham as well. And this is the smaller of the 2 sizes that come in that little bitty bows set. And I thought this would be cute to have the bows all one kind of coordinated color and have the gingham, and then also have the little background papers in a different type of pattern. I was really happy with the Fabulous Fall paper collection. I'm obsessed with the Your Next Stamp paper, but this collection just was really amazing. I like making tags, and I love using pattern papers on my cards, so this was just the perfect collection. I love it. So I have all of my little bows now, so I'm just going to show how to assemble the little bows. So you just take that biggest piece, add some adhesive, and turn in the middle, and then this little piece goes around it so it covers it all up, and then you can adhere it onto the little tail. And then I'm just going to set that one there. So I do a different variation. I tried to make sure that each of the animals got an orange one and a pink one, and I just kind of coordinated it to how it would look with the patterned papers. So there is the bow. They're so easy to assemble, and I really think it just adds the perfect bit of dimension on these little cupcake toppers. So again, you just take the two ends and bring them in, and then you wrap that little piece around. And you could use a glue stick for this or white glue, but I just find it's nice to use the adhesive to use the ATG adhesive, because then it doesn't get all over your fingers and it doesn't ooze out everywhere, and it doesn't add like stickiness. And so I just thought this was the easiest way for me to do it, but you can definitely do it however works for you. So I'm just finishing up my last two little bows here. So there is that one, and I think that looks so cute with that polka dot paper. And then here is the last one. And now I can start to adhere all of the little critters on and their little bows. So I'm going to just use my ATG gun again to adhere on all the little bits. And then I can put the little bows at the bottom. And I end up going back and moving all the little critters up so the bows kind of separate themselves from the critter, but it's totally however you want. I think I was just being nitpicky when I was making it, but I go back and change it a little bit. So I'm just finishing adding on the rest of these, and they look so cute. This beaver one right now that I'm doing is my favorite. I love it. So as you can see, I just moved that little bow there down. I just thought it looked nice kind of like hanging off of it more. So they all go down a little bit. Luckily, I hadn't finished all of them yet. And then that other little circle piece that we had there, we're going to save because we're going to use that on the back to cover up the little toothpick. And that way you're not going to see any glue coming out, and it's going to have kind of like a nice finished look on the back of it. So there are those cute toppers. Now let's take our little toothpicks, and these are just toothpicks that I got from the dollar store. You could also use paper straws, but I just chose to use some toothpicks for these ones. So I'm taking my hot glue gun, and I'm just adding a little bit of glue, and I'm putting the toothpick down between where the tail of the bow goes, and then I'm just adding that little circle on there and giving it a little push down, and there is our little topper. It's so cute, and it was so simple to make. And honestly, if you're gonna make these, it's kind of like a little assembly line. It's not too hard to make them. If you just make a whole bunch at once, you won't even believe how fast you can kind of get through them. And there is that one. And then you can add on glue onto the little circle as well, because then it just adds some more adhesive to it. So adding some glue with the toothpick, and make sure you're careful with the hot glue gun. I always burn myself with the glue gun, so definitely be careful when you're using it. And now for my last one. This one's my favorite little one, so I saved him for last. So adding on the little toothpick and that little bit there, and that is my little cupcake topper. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your comments, and if you haven't, please make sure to head over to the Your Next Stamp YouTube channel and subscribe, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye now.